Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn listening English with a story. Story The Antique Clock. The antique clock in the corner of Mrs. Eleanor Ainsworth's study chimed 6 times. Its melancholic melody echoed through the high-ceilinged room. Outside, the relentless London rain continued its drumming symphony against the window panes. Eleanor sat hunched over a stack of old photographs. She was an elderly woman, but wisdom shone in her kind eyes. The photos depicted a younger Eleanor, vibrant and full of life. She was amidst bustling marketplaces in Marrakech, serene temples in Kyoto, and windswept beaches in Bali. These were fragments of her past, relics of a life of adventure. That life now felt both vivid and impossibly distant. Eleanor was a renowned travel writer. Her name was synonymous with evocative prose and incisive cultural observations. For decades, she had traveled continents. She chronicled her journeys in best-selling books and acclaimed articles. She captivated readers with her unparalleled ability to transport them to faraway places. But now, in her twilight years, her adventurous spirit felt attenuated. It was dimmed by time and physical limitations. Her latest book, a retrospective of her travels, was proving difficult. It dredged up cherished and painful memories. It forced her to confront the ephemeral nature of time. Tonight, however, her focus wasn't on writing. Instead, she thought about a metaphorical journey. Her granddaughter Clara was coming for dinner. Clara was a bright, ambitious young woman on the cusp of adulthood. Clara faced a conundrum, a life crossroads. She sought her grandmother's advice. Clara, a gifted digital animator, was torn between her passion for art and parental pressure. Her parents urged a stable finance career. Eleanor understood Clara's predicament. She remembered her own youthful dilemma. Societal expectations once threatened to constrain her adventurous spirit. She was urged towards marriage and domesticity. But Eleanor chose to deviate from that path with a defiant spark. She embraced the uncertainty of an unconventional life. It was a choice she never regretted. When the doorbell rang, Eleanor put the photos away. She straightened her posture, summoning warmth and unflappable composure. Clara entered the study, her youth contrasting the antique room. Clara greeted her grandmother warmly. Her eyes, usually sparkling, were clouded with despondency. Over a comforting meal, Eleanor listened attentively to Clara's worries. Clara described her internal conflict, the allure of artistic freedom versus the perceived security of a corporate career. She spoke of her parents' vehement objections and anxieties about instability. Her parents had an unwavering belief in the pragmatic virtues of finance. Eleanor listened patiently, offering comfort and understanding. She let Clara fully articulate her anxieties and dreams. When Clara finished, voice thick with emotion, Eleanor took her hand. Her touch was firm and reassuring. "Clara, my dear," Eleanor began gently but firmly. "Life isn't a linear path," Eleanor said. "It's a labyrinth, full of unforeseen turns. The most fulfilling journeys deviate from the well-trodden paths. They embrace the ambiguity and uncertainty of the unknown." She recounted her own youth, the skepticism she faced as a travel writer. She spoke of early financial precariousness and relentless hard work in a competitive field. She didn't sugarcoat the challenges, but emphasized the immeasurable rewards, the intellectual stimulation, personal growth, and unparalleled freedom her path gave her. "Your parents' concerns are valid," Eleanor acknowledged. "They love you and want you secure. But security, Clara, isn't just solvency. True security is living authentically," she added, "a life that resonates with your passions and innate talents." She paused, her gaze penetrating but kind. "You have a gift, Clara, a precious gift. To squander it, to suppress your inclinations for expediency or conformity would be a disservice. It would be a disservice to yourself and the world. The world needs artists, Clara, dreamers, innovators, who see beyond the mundane and utilitarian." Eleanor shared travel stories of artists she met. They dedicated their lives to their craft, facing adversity with purpose and fulfillment. She spoke of art's intrinsic value, its power to transcend boundaries. Art can evoke emotions, inspire change, and illuminate humanity. "The artist's path isn't always easy," Eleanor concluded softly. "It needs resilience, dedication, and willingness to embrace rejection. But it's also immensely rewarding, leading to a life of purpose, passion, and profound meaning. The choice is yours, my dear. Choose wisely, Clara, with heart and head. Clara listened, her despondency fading. Hope and resolve grew within her. Eleanor's wisdom and belief in passion resonated deeply. As Clara left, the London rain softened. Jasmine and incense carried a lighter scent, emanating hope. Clara knew challenges remained, but armed with sage advice and self-belief, she was ready. She would embark on her artistic journey, forge her own path, and discover unforeseen treasures. Hope you enjoyed the story. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. Thank you. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn listening English with a story. The old piano in the corner of Maya's apartment had been silently gathering dust for years. A relic from a previous tenant, it was more furniture than instrument, a dark, imposing presence in her otherwise brightly decorated living room. Maya, a graphic designer by trade, had always admired musicians, those individuals who could conjure melodies from thin air, but the thought of actually becoming one had never seriously crossed her mind. Until, that is, she heard Elias play. Elias, a barista at her favorite coffee shop, was known for his quiet demeanor and the intricate latte art he created. One evening, however, Maya stumbled upon an open mic night at the cafe and heard Elias perform. He sat at a battered acoustic guitar, his voice surprisingly resonant and soulful, filling the space. The music, a blend of folk and blues, was both melancholic and uplifting, and it resonated deeply within Maya. After his set, emboldened by a double espresso, she approached him. "That was incredible, Elias," she stammered, slightly flustered. "I had no idea you played like that." Elias, usually reserved, blushed slightly. "Thanks, Maya. Been playing since I was a kid. It's an outlet." "It's more than an outlet," Maya insisted. "It's captivating. I've always wanted to learn an instrument." The words surprised even her as they tumbled out. Elias smiled, a genuine, warm smile that transformed his face. "It's never too late to start. What were you thinking of?" "Piano, maybe?" Maya gestured vaguely in the direction of her apartment, picturing the dust-covered keys. There's a piano in my flat, just sitting there, dormant." And so began Maya's unlikely musical journey. Elias, surprisingly enthusiastic, offered to give her some basic lessons. He started her with simple chords, patiently guiding her fingers over the ivory keys, his gentle corrections a stark contrast to his usual quietness. Maya, initially buoyant with enthusiasm, soon discovered that learning piano was far more arduous than she had imagined. Her fingers felt clumsy and uncoordinated, the chords sounded dissonant and jarring, and the sheet music resembled an indecipherable code. "This is impossible," she declared one evening after a particularly frustrating practice session, her fingers aching and her patience frayed. "I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe I should just stick to graphic design." Elias, who had come over for their weekly lesson, sat beside her on the piano bench, his presence a calming influence. "Don't be so defeatist, Maya. It takes time, years even, to become truly proficient. You've only been at it for a few weeks." "But I'm making no progress," she lamented, gesturing to the sheet music strewn across the piano. "It all sounds like a cacophony." "It sounded like a cacophony to me when I first started guitar," Elias chuckled. "Trust me, everyone starts there. The crucial thing is perseverance. Consistent practice, even if it's just for 15 minutes a day. Incremental progress. That's how you get there." He then shared stories of his own early struggles with the guitar, the countless hours of practice, the moments of frustration and self-doubt. He spoke of the intrinsic reward of mastering a skill, the sense of accomplishment that came with each small victory, each chord finally played cleanly, each melody slowly emerging from the initial chaos. Inspired by Elias's words and his own demonstrable skill, Maya decided to redouble her efforts. She started practicing every day, even on days when she felt completely unmotivated. She broke down complex pieces into smaller, more manageable sections, focusing on mastering each part before moving on. Slowly, painstakingly, progress began to emerge. The dissonant chords started to sound smoother, the melodies began to take shape, and the sheet music started to make a little more sense. It wasn't always easy. There were days when frustration threatened to overwhelm her, days when she was tempted to abandon the piano altogether and return it to its dormant state. But Elias's unwavering encouragement and her own growing resolve kept her going. She found herself looking forward to her practice sessions, not just as a chore, but as a time to unwind, to escape the pressures of work, and to immerse herself in a different world. Months passed. The seasons changed. Leaves turned from green to gold and then to brown, and the days grew shorter and colder, and Maya continued to practice. One evening, Elias came over for their usual lesson. Maya, without saying anything, sat down at the piano and began to play. It wasn't a complex piece, just a simple, melancholic melody she had been working on for weeks. But as she played, her fingers moved with a newfound fluidity and confidence. The notes flowed together, creating a coherent and surprisingly beautiful sound. When she finished, a silence hung in the air. Elias was watching her, a look of quiet admiration on his face. "Maya," he said softly, "that was beautiful." Tears welled up in Maya's eyes, tears of relief, of pride, of sheer exhilaration. She had done it. She had persevered through the frustration, the self-doubt, the seemingly endless hours of practice. She had transformed the dormant piano in the corner of her apartment into a source of music, and in doing so, she had discovered a part of herself she never knew existed. The journey had been arduous, but the reward, the feeling of accomplishment, was immeasurable. And it had all started with a chance encounter at a coffee shop, a dusty piano, and the quiet encouragement of a barista who understood the transformative power of music and the importance of perseverance in the face of challenge. From then on, the piano was no longer just furniture. It was a testament to Maya's tenacity and a symbol of her newfound passion. Certainly, let's break down the bolded vocabulary words from the story, which are great for IELTS Band 7 level and above. Outlet, noun, a way of expressing or getting rid of strong feelings or energy. Think of it as a release valve for emotions or creativity. Example, music became his outlet for stress and frustration. Captivating, adjective, holding your attention by being extremely interesting or attractive. Something captivating is fascinating and draws you in. Example, Elias's music was absolutely captivating. I couldn't stop listening. Dormant, adjective, not active or growing, but having the ability to become active or grow at a later time, like a seed that's not yet sprouted, or a volcano that's not currently erupting. Example, the piano had been dormant in her apartment for years, unused and silent. Buoyant, adjective, cheerful and confident, optimistic. Think of something that floats easily and is full of energy. Example, Maya started learning piano with a buoyant enthusiasm, excited to begin. Arduous, adjective, involving a lot of effort and difficulty, tiring and laborious. Something arduous is hard work and takes a lot of stamina. Example, learning piano proved to be more arduous than Maya initially thought. Cut out for something, phrasal verb, to be naturally suited or have the right qualities for something. It means you have the inherent ability or talent for a particular activity. Example, Maya worried she wasn't cut out for playing the piano, feeling she lacked the talent. Defeatist, adjective, having or showing a tendency to expect failure or accept defeat without trying to improve things. A defeatist attitude is one that gives up easily. Example, Elias told Maya not to be so defeatist when she felt like giving up. Proficient, adjective, competent or skilled in doing or using something. Proficient means you are good at something, you have a good level of skill. Example, it takes years to become truly proficient at playing a musical instrument. Cacophony, noun, a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Think of a loud, unpleasant noise that's jarring to the ears. Example, at first, Maya's piano practice sounded like a cacophony to her. Crucial, adjective, decisive or critical, especially in the success or failure of something. Something crucial is absolutely essential and important. Example, perseverance is crucial for learning any new skill. Perseverance, noun, persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Perseverance is the quality of not giving up, even when things are hard. Example, Elias emphasized the importance of perseverance in learning to play. Consistent, adjective, acting or behaving in the same way over time, unchanging in nature, standard or effect. Consistent means regular and steady. Example, consistent practice, even for short periods, is key to improvement. Incremental, adjective, increasing gradually by regular degrees or additions. Incremental progress is slow and steady, step by step. Example, Elias spoke of incremental progress, small steps leading to larger achievements. Intrinsic, adjective, belonging naturally, essential. Intrinsic reward comes from within yourself, from the satisfaction of doing something itself. Example, there's an intrinsic reward in mastering a new skill, regardless of external praise. Sense of accomplishment, noun phrase, a feeling of pride and satisfaction at having achieved something difficult or worthwhile. Example, Maya felt a strong sense of accomplishment when she finally played a piece well. Demonstrable, adjective, clearly apparent or capable of being logically proved. Demonstrable skill is skill that can be clearly seen or shown. Example, Elias's demonstrable skill on the guitar was inspiring to Maya. Redouble efforts, verb, to make or become much greater or more numerous. To redouble your efforts means to try much harder, to increase your efforts significantly. Example, inspired, Maya decided to redouble her efforts and practice even more. Manageable, adjective, able to be controlled or dealt with without difficulty. Manageable sections are small enough to handle and learn effectively. Example, Maya broke down complex pieces into smaller, more manageable sections to practice. Unwavering, adjective, steady or resolute, not wavering or hesitating. Unwavering encouragement is consistent and strong, never faltering. Example, Elias's unwavering encouragement helped Maya to continue even when she felt discouraged. Resolve, noun, firm determination to do something. Resolve is inner strength and determination. Example, Maya's own growing resolve kept her going despite the challenges. Unwind, relax, and stop feeling anxious. To unwind is to relax and de-stress. Example, Maya found piano practice a way to unwind after a stressful day of work. Immerse oneself, verb, to involve oneself deeply in a particular activity or interest. To immerse yourself is to become completely absorbed in something. Example, Maya started to immerse herself in the world of music through piano practice. Fluidity, noun, the quality of being fluent or smooth. Fluidity in music playing means smooth flowing movements and transitions between notes. Example, Maya's playing showed a newfound fluidity as she became more skilled. Exhilaration, noun, a feeling of excitement, happiness, or elation, thrill. Exhilaration is a feeling of great joy and excitement. Example, Maya felt exhilaration when she realized she had finally played beautifully. Transformed, verb, to make a marked change in the form, nature, or appearance of. Transformed means changed completely and dramatically. Example, Maya had transformed the dormant piano into a source of music. Immeasurable, adjective, too large, extensive, or extreme to measure. Immeasurable reward is so great it can't be quantified. Example, the reward of learning piano was immeasurable to Maya. Transformative, adjective, causing a marked change in someone or something. Transformative power is the ability to change something in a significant way. Example, Elias understood the transformative power of music to change lives. Tenacity, noun, the quality or fact of continuing to exist, persistence. Tenacity is determination and persistence in the face of difficulty. Example, the piano became a testament to Maya's tenacity and her dedication to learning. Hope you enjoyed the story. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. Thank you. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn listening English with a story. Story: The Unexpected Detour. The GPS stubbornly declared, recalculating route. Sarah sighed, tapping her fingers impatiently on the steering wheel. She was already running late for her crucial presentation in Bristol, and now a sudden road closure had thrown her meticulously planned schedule into disarray. Originally, the drive was estimated to be a straightforward 3-hour journey. She had even factored in a buffer for potential traffic. However, this unexpected detour, forced upon her by unforeseen roadworks, was threatening to derail her entire day. Sarah glanced at the dashboard clock, 8:15 a.m. Her presentation was scheduled for 11 a.m. sharp. Bristol was still at least 2.5 hours away, even without this inconvenient detour. A knot of anxiety tightened in her stomach. She had spent weeks preparing for this presentation. It was a pivotal moment in her career, a chance to impress potential investors and secure funding for her innovative tech startup. Everything hinged on today. Trying to remain composed, Sarah followed the diversion signs. They led her off the main highway and onto winding country lanes. The scenery, while picturesque with rolling hills and quaint villages, was doing little to soothe her frayed nerves. The narrow roads forced her to slow down considerably. Each bend in the road seemed to add precious minutes to her journey. She checked the GPS again, hoping for a miracle, but the blue line stubbornly insisted on its circuitous new path. Suddenly, amidst the green fields, a sign caught her eye. Lavender Farm, open for visitors. Lavender Farm? Sarah had always been captivated by lavender fields. She had seen countless photos, dreaming of one day experiencing their fragrant beauty firsthand. A fleeting thought crossed her mind. Just a quick stop? Maybe it would help calm my nerves. She quickly dismissed it as frivolous. Time was of the essence. She couldn't afford any distractions. Yet, the image of the lavender fields lingered. The stress of the situation was becoming overwhelming. Perhaps a brief respite, a moment of beauty and tranquility, was exactly what she needed to regain her focus. Against her better judgment, Sarah signaled and turned onto the lane leading to the lavender farm. Just 5 minutes, she promised herself. 5 minutes to breathe and admire the view, then back on the road. As she drove down the lane, the air grew noticeably fragrant. The scent of lavender, sweet and calming, filled the car. And then she saw them. Fields upon fields of lavender, stretching out in undulating rows of vibrant purple. It was breathtaking. The sight was even more stunning than any photograph she had ever seen. The air hummed with the gentle buzz of bees, and the purple landscape shimmered in the morning sun. Sarah parked the car and stepped out, inhaling deeply. The lavender scent was intoxicating, instantly easing her anxiety. She walked into the fields, running her fingers lightly over the fragrant blooms. The worries about her presentation seemed to dissipate, replaced by a sense of peace and wonder. For a few precious moments, time seemed to slow down, and all that mattered was the beauty surrounding her. She spent perhaps 15 minutes wandering through the lavender, taking photos, and simply breathing in the fragrant air. Then, with a renewed sense of calm and focus, she returned to her car. Back on the road, and eventually back on the highway, Sarah drove with a newfound clarity. The detour, though initially frustrating, had unexpectedly provided her with a serendipitous break. It had allowed her to recalibrate and regain her composure. She arrived in Bristol with just enough time to spare. The presentation went exceptionally well. Perhaps, she mused later, it was the unexpected detour, the unplanned stop in the lavender fields that had ultimately contributed to her success. Sometimes, the most circuitous route leads to the most rewarding destinations. Vocabulary explanation, 10 words. Disarray noun, a state of disorder, confusion. Example, the office was in disarray after the office party. Detour, noun, a route lengthened temporarily, often due to road closures. Example, we had to take a detour because of construction on the highway. Inconvenient, adjective, causing trouble or difficulty. Example, it's very inconvenient to get to the store without a car. Pivotal, adjective, of crucial importance in relation to the development or success of something else. Example, this meeting will be pivotal to the future of the company. Composed, adjective, calm and self-controlled. Example, despite the pressure, she remained composed and professional. Circuitous, adjective, longer than the most direct way. Example, we took a circuitous route through the mountains to avoid the traffic. Captivated, adjective, attracted and held the attention of, enchanted. Example, she was captivated by the beauty of the sunset. Frivolous, adjective, not having any serious purpose or value. Example, spending money on lottery tickets is a frivolous waste of resources. Overwhelming, adjective, very great in amount, overpowering. Example, the task seemed overwhelming at first, but we broke it down into smaller steps. Undulating, adjective, having a smoothly rising and falling form or outline. Example, the landscape was characterized by undulating hills and valleys. Intoxicating, adjective, exhilarating or exciting. Example, the scent of jasmine was intoxicating and filled the garden. Dissipate, verb, disappear or cause to disappear. Example, the morning fog quickly dissipated as the sun rose higher. Serendipitous, adjective, occurring or discovered by chance in a happy or beneficial way. Example, meeting her at the conference was a serendipitous encounter that led to a job offer. Recalibrate, verb, adjust something again, especially to make it accurate or suitable. Example, After the setback, we needed to recalibrate our strategy. Circuitous, adjective, repeated for emphasis, longer and less direct than the most straightforward way. Example, life sometimes takes us on circuitous paths to reach our goals. Hope you enjoyed the story. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. Thank you.